Have you amassed a stockpile of paper pads that would rival your local craft stores? This video is for you. In order to sort properly, you're going to have a place to do your sorting. So scout out a place in your house that you can sort into piles, maybe a dining room table or a kitchen countertop, maybe an island in your kitchen. But find some place that's got a good open amount of space for you to sort into those necessary piles. In order to get your paper pad collection under control so that you can use it effectively and find what you're looking for, you've got to do some sorting. So my first suggestion is to sort by size. Paper pads come in all sizes. So if you gravitate towards one size and only buy that size of paper pad, well then you can sort of skip this step and move to the next. If not, you'll probably find that you have multiple sizes. I have, these are 8x8s, and these are 6x8s. But I don't have a lot of smaller paper pads, so I'm going to lump these into one section. But I do have quite a few 12x12s. So for me, I'm going to put all my 12x12s in one area of my dining room table and then all my smaller paper pads in another. If you find that you have a ton of 6x6 or a ton of 6x8, well, you can certainly separate those out as well. You do what makes sense to you. Once I have all of my paper pads sorted by size, I would take probably my larger 12x12 or whatever is the larger stack for you and further sort down the list. So I would sort by theme, and the way that I would do that would be solid paper versus patterned paper. Much of what I'm suggesting here today has a lot to do and walks hand in hand with my previous organizational video, which I will link above if you haven't seen it. So some of the techniques that I used in cleaning up my craft room also apply to cleaning up my craft supplies, like paper pads. So starting with the largest item might be a great idea if you've got a lot of 12x12 pads. Let's clean that up first. Maybe you get overwhelmed by this. Set a timer. Or maybe you need to work top to bottom. Maybe your top to bottom is that first top bin that is loaded with paper pads. Let's start with that one first. Now that I've sorted into solids and prints, I'm going to take a look at my solids. That's just what works in my head. Again, you got to do what's right for you. But I'm going to take a good look at my paper pads. Now, most of mine tend to be multiple colors, not necessarily in the same color family. So if you have paper pads that are, say, all reds or all blues, you could sort that way and do it in rainbow order. If you have multiple kinds of paper in one paper pad, much like this Recollections Rainbow collection, well, that quite doesn't fit singular color theme. So I'm going to look at the type of paper that this is, and in this case, it's glitter paper. So I'm going to keep my glitter paper together. I'm also going to choose to keep my foil cardstock paper pads together. After I'm finished with my solids, I'm going to take a look at my patterned paper and further sort those into themes. You'll find that when you go shopping, say at Michael's, they're selling you themed paper. So Easter themes or St. Patrick's Day themes or Christmas themes. Sort your sections into that. So that would be my next suggestion. Sort by theme. Once you have your paper pads sorted, the next thing you need to consider is storage. So really depends on your personal space and what you have available. If you have something like a lot of 12x12s, they're heavy, so they're going to require something that is easy to access and will support the weight of a lot of 12x12 pads. So maybe you're going to consider something like bookshelves. Let's say you do have bookshelves, if you wanted to sort them, I would use maybe something like what you would find in a library. So a super simple way is to simply take a sheet of cardstock, especially if you're doing 12 by 12s, something that's larger, cut it in half and mark it. This one is just a strip and I just marked it solids. So when I go to place my item in my bookshelf, I can just put this in front so I know what comes after it. I hope that makes sense to you. But that is a very inexpensive way to be able to identify what you have where in your shelving. If you don't use shelves, maybe you use bins. Maybe you need to sort those bins into solids in one area. Make sure you mark your bin. That could be something as simple as some heavy duty tape or even a magic marker. So I will leave some additional storage solutions for you or in the description below. Now, if you have a smaller section of paper pads that need to kind of be corralled, you could certainly use something like this. This is nothing more than a heavy duty type of bin that I bought at Home Goods or TJ Maxx a few years ago in clearance. And it holds all of my smaller paper pads. I don't really need to do any dividing because I really don't have that much, and they all live in here. And then it just lives underneath my desk. Now this video came about because a subscriber reached out to me asking me for help in how to deal with her over 100 pads of paper and its organization. So if you've got questions that you need me to answer or would like me to find a solution for you, please consider dropping that in the comments below and maybe I can make a video for you. And it might help someone else too. Need other help with organization or storage? Check out my other videos.